Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on European Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it comes from a translation of a message that I received. Strange things indeed they do happen in this world. There is a message that I received from our dear sister, and it reads like this. Hello, how are you, Brother Nashi? Can you please post my own story? Is hidden identity. I am a woman. I am a Zimbabwean woman who is currently living here in the United Kingdom, and I am working here as a caregiver. I came here to Europe because of what I did. I sacrificed my own sister so that I can secure my place here in the UK. And I met a woman on Facebook. I did not even know that this woman, she was a satanic agent by the time that I met her on a Facebook group, as I used to search a lot on Google trying to get a job. My story started when I was in South Africa. I went to South Africa and then things did not work out very well. And I said, since I am struggling here in this country, let me return back to my own country. It is far much better to be poor in your own country than to be suffering in a foreign country. So I left, as hurtful as it was, and I returned back home with nothing. And I started staying with my mom. And life was very difficult. I do not want to lie to you. So many nights we would go to bed hungry. And since I was the firstborn in the family, my mom would look up to me, even my sisters, and I had kids also from the previous marriage, because I was once married and things did not work out in that marriage. So the way that we were suffering, it was just too much. We would go for days without having a proper meal. So that was when I started to buy data, and I would go on different websites. All that I would be doing is to search for a job, because I went to university and I have a degree. So I thought that I was going to use that degree to get a job overseas, which was going to come with a visa sponsorship. But unfortunately, I could not get such a job. That was when I said, since I don't have enough data, because I was unable to keep on buying data to post and to look for jobs on different websites where job seekers look for jobs. So I said, let me just buy data that will be enough for me to browse on Facebook, enter into groups where people give each other advice on how to migrate, leaving the country where you will be and going to Europe. That was when I met this woman. I live in the UK now. I have a decent job, a warm place to sleep, a visa that many would die for. But every time, whenever I try to pray, when I think about the things that I did, I see myself as a murderer. I can't even enjoy being here in Europe. I see myself as a bad person, someone without morals who sold her sister for a visa. My name, you'll call me Trish. So I am 29 years old. I do come from Chitungwiza, a town just outside of Harare. I graduated. I have a degree. And then when I left South Africa, when I returned back home, that was when I said, let me do a caregiving diploma with Allison, that other online college. That is where I did my diploma. And then I kept on looking for a job. And I was excited when I heard the news that there were countries that were looking for Zim workers, those that were caregivers that had such diplomas. And I was hungry to leave Africa behind. I was tired of poverty. And whenever I would watch my mom crying herself to sleep, it just felt so bad. As the firstborn in the family, I felt as if I was a failure. I was tired of helping my little sisters with nothing whenever we would go to bed hungry, because they will all be looking up to me, yet I won't be having anything to offer to them. I needed a way out. And as for my kids that I was staying with at my parents' house, they also had their needs, and I was supposed to buy them clothes, food, but it was proving to be very difficult. That was when I joined this other group, and I started following this other agent, and I kept following him. And when I looked in the comment section, a page was full of testimonies, a lot of Zim people that had been assisted by that woman to go to Europe and working as caregivers. And everything was just perfect. So I would comment on each and every post until I went to her inbox, and then I spoke with her. She did not respond to my messages. And then one day, that was when I saw that she tagged on my comment and she responded to me on Messenger. She was like, "Hi, Sissy, I saw your comment on the caregiving page. Inbox me if you are serious about relocating because we do fast track visa sponsorships." I did not even hesitate. I was like, "God, where did you come from? This is what I have been waiting for." So me and this woman, we started talking. We moved over to WhatsApp from Facebook. She would call me with direct WhatsApp calls. And whenever she would speak with me, her voice was like that of an evangelist, as if she was a preacher. And she comforted me whenever I would tell her my story. She told me that I was perfect for a client that she had in Manchester. She then started asking for my documents, and I told her that even though I had some documents, but I did not have a passport. She was like, little sister, what kind of a person are you? So you are looking for a job overseas, but you do not have a passport. Make a plan, and after you would have made a plan, then respond back to me. Then we can start from there. So we stopped communicating, me and this woman. So in our street, there was this other old man that had always proposed love to me, but he was married and he was a friend of the family. Brother Nashi, I sold my body to that man so that I can get some money to go and apply for a passport. I went and I spoke with that man and I asked him that I needed some money, and he gave me a deal, and he said that if I wanted his money, he was supposed to sleep with me. And I said it is okay. Whenever his wife was not around, I would go to his house and he would do whatever that he would want with me. He then took me one day and he went with me to Makombe office where I applied for my passport. And when my passport was out, that was when I contacted the woman again and I showed her pictures of my passport, and she was like, it is okay, you can send other documents. I sent my passport, my diploma, my degree, my police clearance, and within a couple of weeks she said everything was going to be fast tracked. But there is something that you need to know. And I did not understand at first. She said, for fast track sponsorship, there is a sacrifice that you need to make. So in my mind, since I knew that a lot of people sometimes they make you pay so that they can bring you over to Europe, so I quickly thought that maybe she wanted me to pay her an upfront fee. And I was like, right now, I do not have money as such, but I promise you that when I come to Europe, I am going to work, even if it means that I work for the whole year without you giving me my salary. It is fine. All that I want is to be in Europe. So this woman then said it was not about the money, but there was a guy that was going to come to me and he was going to explain everything to me. So then there was a guy that came. This guy came and picked me up. So I thought that maybe this was the guy that was going to make me sign a contract, that when you are in Europe, this woman will take part of your salary since she will be using money for the flight tickets, for the visa, and everything that she has been doing, that she's going to do for you. And I was ready to sign the contract. I told my mom, and my mom was very happy. And then I went with this guy to a restaurant. It was a nice place. I thought that was where we were going to sign the contract. But no, the guy then told me that we were supposed to go to his house in Borodale. He told me that if you are scared, you can speak with my wife. Before we left, he then gave me the phone and I spoke with his wife, and I felt comfortable because he said, maybe you think that I'm going to take advantage of you. No. We then went to the guy's place, which was a big mansion, a very beautiful one, which is in Borodale. I was like, God, you are so gracious. So this is what you have decided to do to me. Now I am hanging around with these rich people. This means that my life is going to change like forever. So we then entered into that big mansion. The wife was so beautiful. She came downstairs and we sat in the living room. We spoke about a lot of things and they told me about sacrifices that I was supposed to do. Then that was when they took me to another room. So like I was wondering, when we going to sign the contract? I'm ready. I'm ready. Then they took me into this other empty room. When we entered into that room, I had never seen the statue of Buddha before, that idol. And that was the first day that I saw it. It was inside of that room. And I did not mind. I just said, you need to mind your business. You came here to sign the contract. That's it. Do not do things that will block your blessings or say anything that will block your blessings. So I remained quiet. So they kept on talking and they asked me if I had ever practiced yoga before. And I was like, no. That was when I was given a yoga mat and I was told that we were supposed to relax our muscles, to stretch our muscles, then we can discuss business. After a couple of minutes, that was when they said, okay, we are now in the same spirit. Let us talk about this. So the man then told me that in order for my visa to be fast-tracked, as in the sponsorship, there was a sacrifice that was supposed to be done. I was supposed to give someone that I love, someone that I loved, and the woman then said, take it as blood for opportunity. I thought that they were joking, and I told them that I was a Christian. I was unable to perform any blood sacrifices. Then they said, well, it means that you are not ready. The woman then said, in this world, you either suffer or you sacrifice. And they left me to think about it in that room. Brother Nashi, after that, that was when they left me and I started crying because I was in a situation where I was supposed to choose on the spot to sacrifice or to walk away, and they will never assist me with the visa sponsorship. I cried for many hours. I cried until all of my tears had dried up. And then they returned back and they said, are you ready? And I said, yes. At that time, I did not even have the strength to sit upright anymore. I was just lying on the floor. They brought this other mirror right next to where I was sleeping, and they said, look into the mirror and you are going to see people that are going to appear. Anyone who will stay in the mirror, then the person is going to be your sacrifice. I tried this other auntie of mine who had mistreated my mom soon after my father had passed away. So since she was our natural enemy, I said she is the one that is supposed to die because of the things that she did to us as a family after the passing away of my father. But that woman, when she appeared, my auntie, then she just disappeared. I saw black smoke, and then I was told that the devil had refused her because she is someone who is a ritualist herself. And then they told me to mention the names of all the people that I thought that I could sacrifice. I then started to mention the names of all the people that I knew from high school when I went to South Africa. So each and every person that I would mention their name would appear into the mirror, and then that person will disappear. There was one of my cousin brother whom I even mentioned, and his face appeared in the mirror, and she was like, dear sister, what are you doing there? And he disappeared in that vision until when I was told to say the names of my siblings. And my little sister, I saw her. She was busy doing her house duties. She was sweeping. And then I was told that my little sister was the one that had been chosen by the mirror as the sacrifice. I cried so hard. And these people had given me a lot of money that was close to 6,000 US dollars that I was supposed to use on her funeral. And finally, I agreed. And then that was when I returned back home. When I returned back home, my mom was crying. She was telling me that there was this other person whom she was owing money. When I was not at home, that person had came and was shouting at my mother saying that she wants her money back, and we had not even eaten properly in days. And as for my siblings, they could not even go to school because their school fees was due. And as for my kids, it was very painful. That was when I spoke with that satanic agent, and he asked me if I was ready. Immediately, he then connected me on a group call on WhatsApp. A lot of people joined that group call. Some of them, they were white people. It was 12 of those satanic agents. One by one, they asked me the same question. Trish, yes, are you ready? Yes, I am ready. Then the next person will ask me. So we had that group call. And after that, that was when I was told that I was not supposed to cry the day that my sister was going to die, even on her funeral, because I had already shed all of my tears the day when I sacrificed him. So when it happened, it was late at night. I felt so hot since I had been told to open the door so that the spirit of death can enter into our house. I went and I opened the front door and left it open just for a couple of minutes. My mom, she heard me and she said, "Trish, what is wrong? Did someone open the door?" And then I met my mom in the hallway and she asked me, and I told her that I was not feeling so well. Then she said, "Tomorrow when you wake up, since you say that you are having flu-like symptoms, I want you to boil some water so that you can steam." And I went to bed. At around 3 a.m., that was when we had my little sister. She was screaming. We then rushed to her spare bedroom and we saw that she was unable to talk. She was unable to open her eyes. And then that was when my sister passed away at the hospital. And they said that she had a tumor in her brain and we did not know about it. And then at her funeral, I had been told that I was not supposed to cry. It was so painful. After my sister had been buried, I was then told that it is done, the sacrifice had been accepted, and my doors to come to Europe had been open. So in July 2023, I received an email from a UK agency confirming a job offer. They said that I had been shortlisted through, in brackets, a special referral. My visa was processed, flight booked. In November 2023, I landed at Heathrow Airport. So I work night shifts at a care home. The patients, they love me, but I always hear my little sister, the one that I sacrificed, and she keeps on asking me, "Sisi, why? And it gives me too many sleepless nights." But this is what happened when I migrated from my country, Zim, and I came to Europe. When you would have posted my story, please tell me so that I can follow through in the comment section. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our sister. Strange things indeed, they do happen in this world.